Hola amigos de la vanguardia, soy Tom Holland. I was a big fan of these games. I was playing the fourth Uncharted game while I was shooting Spider-Man Homecoming. It was something that, you know, at the time I remember thinking that it would make a fantastic film. The games are so cinematic, the story is so compelling that, you know, it really lends itself to the big screen, but I could never have imagined that I would be the person playing Nathan Drake. I think I have a few things in common. He's very adventurous and I'm very adventurous. He's a kind person and I'm pretty kind. And he's very trusting, which sometimes is my downfall. I'm too trusting of people. Yeah, I mean, it is difficult, you know. When you sort of live in the world of fame and Hollywood, you do have to be quite careful with who you trust because, you know, people are trying to get things out of you that aren't necessarily things that you would like to share. You know, I think my private life is something that I take very seriously, and, you know, there are some people that don't respect that in the way that I think they should. But, you know, you just have to surround yourself with good people and make sure that you're safe and comfortable and on your toes. I actually was quite good at history. I didn't do very well in my history exam, only because I got a question incredibly wrong, but I got it wrong in a really good way. I just read the date wrong and wrote about the wrong person. But I did really enjoy history, which was one of the reasons why I was so excited to make this film. In loads of different ways, really. I mean, obviously the first one was going to the gym and getting into shape, which I really enjoyed. The other thing was, you know, I did quite a bit of boxing training and fight training and all that sort of stuff to kind of be able to portray Nathan Drake in a very authentic way. He is a kid who is untrained but very capable, which is a very fine line. So we had to try and figure out a unique fighting style for him, which was something that took some time, but it was a lot of fun. And I'm, you know, happy to say that it was wonderful on set. We got along really well, and, you know, it was almost like a big brother, little brother kind of thing. We were going at each other quite a lot, and I think that helped the film in a massive way. Oh, Antonio, excuse me. He was so much fun. I loved working with him. I've been a massive fan of his for a very long time. So to share the screen with him was a real joy. Although it was only for one scene, he was so much fun to work with. And, you know, everyone was very excited when he came to set. I've been here loads. I've travelled here so many times on holiday for work, to visit friends. So I'm very comfortable in this city. It feels a little bit like a home away from home. The fans here are so lovely, they've always been so warm and welcoming. So I'm delighted to be here, and I hope that I get to come back soon. It's complicated. You have to be very careful with what you say and where you say things, you know. I have an understanding that there are lots of kids that look up to me, so I want to make sure that I'm a good role model for them. But like I said earlier, there are always people that want too much and they enjoy our private lives, and, you know, our private lives are called private lives for a reason, because they're ours. So it can be quite difficult and sometimes frustrating, but, you know, I'm lucky that my fans are incredibly supportive and loving, so it's not something I typically have to worry about. I never wanted to be an actor. I just was. I just kind of was a young kid dancing in London. I really enjoyed dancing, and then I got the chance to audition for this show. I always loved performing, but acting never felt like a career path for me. I did this show, I really enjoyed it. I then, you know, auditioned for this film. I got cast in The Impossible, or Lo Imposible, and I met Naomi Watts, and it wasn't until I started working with her and understanding what acting meant in the film world that I realised that I could make a career of this. So it was never something I decided to do, it's just something that I never stopped doing. Probably, for me, Temple of Doom, the Indiana Jones movie, I loved that movie as a kid. I have a lot of nostalgia. I know my mum used to really fancy Harrison Ford, so I thought that he was very cool. But yeah, as a young kid, Temple of Doom would have been my favourite adventure movie. I actually spoke to Jota yesterday. I called him because obviously I'm here in Barcelona. I wanted to see if he was around to have dinner, but he unfortunately is out of town. He is shooting somewhere in the mountains. But I have only fond memories of that movie. Shooting in Alicante was wonderful. Shooting in Thailand, in Khao Lak, was an incredible experience for not only me but my family. And we loved it. I loved every minute of it, and I'm so proud of that movie. I'd like to take a break. That's a goal of mine, to slow down and take a break and enjoy the fruits of my labour a little bit more. But other than that, I don't really have any goals right now in terms of my work. I just am enjoying what I'm doing. I'm really happy with the track that I'm on, so I'm just going to keep with it and just try and be as happy as possible. Superhero for me, wow, it's people that I can look up to. You know, we run a charity called the Brothers Trust, and we, you know, are a foundation that raise money for lots of different causes. And you know, some of these kids that we meet who have these diseases that are so debilitating and so life-affecting, but their positivity, their continued positivity, the way that they are able to put their parents at ease is so incredible to witness. So for me, they would be the superheroes of the world. Yeah, I mean, I think when we were making the film, we really, you know, had an idea that this project could be really special, but we had no idea that it could be this global success in the way that it has been. You know, I mean, breaking records in a pandemic is a pretty crazy thing to be able to say. I'm delighted that, you know, people were able to enjoy the cinema-going experience safely, and you know, I really feel like we sort of kick-started the business, and I'm just delighted to be a part of it. I mean, obviously the idea of being grateful, understanding, you know, how lucky we are just to live in the free world and be able to walk around and enjoy each other's company. I've been very lucky that throughout the pandemic I've shot 2 movies and now released 2 movies, so my work hasn't really slowed down. But I think the biggest lesson I learned was that taking a break is just as important as accepting a good job. So for me, what I've learned is that I have the time now to take a break. Maybe one day, but I would never live there permanently. I might have a house there one day, but for me, London is my home. It's where my family are, it's where my friends are, it's where my roots are. So for me, I can't see myself leaving London. I won't be hosting the Oscars. It's nice to be asked and, you know, to be considered to do it. It was an exciting idea, but I just unfortunately don't have the time. Uncharted is a movie that I'm very proud of, so I need to give all of my time to this film, to the promotional tour, and then as soon as I finish promoting this film, I'm straight off back to work in New York. So I don't have time, unfortunately. I mean, it's an idea. Amy Pascal obviously is like my mum in the business, and she is developing this film and asked me if I'd like to play Fred, and obviously it would be a dream come true. I have an amazing tap dancing background from being in Billy Elliot, so it would be nice to utilise that skill again. I can't really remember what we spoke about, but it was very nice to meet him, and he was very excited about being on set, which was a lovely energy to have around. But he was a really nice guy. We just shot a little commercial thing now together, which was a lot of fun. Wow, I've got lots of things to talk about. Some things I can't talk about, but I'm doing this TV show at the moment called Crowded Room, which is something I am really excited for. It's going to be a big undertaking for me as an actor, something that is a little nerve-wracking, but I'm feeling more and more confident as the days go on. But that is my main focus at the minute, and we won't be finished shooting that until at least September. I mean, I love the character. He's completely changed my life, so yes, of course, I would love to sort of put the suit back on, but only in the right way. So, you know, it might not be my time, it might be someone else's time, but I don't know. No one's told me anything. The studio haven't said anything to me. I love Barcelona. For me, the Gothic Quarter is so impressive. Like, the architecture is wonderful here. The nightlife is something that I've really enjoyed here in Barcelona. My sort of like early 20s, late teens, I really enjoyed coming here for a good night out. So I've really enjoyed Barcelona. The beach is wonderful. So yeah, I've always really enjoyed it here. Gracias. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.